Hi, and welcome back. I hope that your day is going great. I hope that you feel blessed. I hope that your eyebrows are on point. I don't think mine are, but I still have some, so I'm good. It was a gorgeous day here today. It's warm out. We've got cold air coming in on us, but right now it's warm and it's beautiful. And as always, let's just start right out with our scripture. To Psalm 19:14, that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. That's so much to catch you guys up on, y'all. Um, I went to, it wasn't exactly a class reunion, it was supposed to have been, and it turned into more into a class, I don't know, kind of gathering. It was 3 classes put together, and out of that's well over 1,000 people, and we had about 20 people. And we just sort of picked a restaurant, and they were cool with a last minute large group. And that's what we did. We went there and we just kind of fellowship together, caught up with each other. A lot of us still stay in contact all the time anyway, so that was nice. And it was nice seeing each other. And there were, in my class, it was 2 of us there, well, 3 total, 2 cancer survivors and me. And um, as always, it ends up being kind of a touched on conversation. I mean, how do you sort of not, how do you sort of not talk about it? But the 3 of us were talking about their radiation, their tattoos, um, the brain fog that is inevitable. And right now, I'm actually just inundated. Every thought that I have, it's almost like, is it really a thought? Is that really a memory? Did that really happen? Am I really supposed to be remembering this? I don't know. I don't know. Everything is just sort of an almost something. Yeah. Like I like to do writing, and my mind doesn't stay together long enough to carry the thought to write. But it does pass. I hear. They told me it did, so I believe it is the truth. Um, One has had 2 different cancers that I was talking with, and the other one had the same one I do. She's about 8 years clear, and he just got told he's still clear. And I think his last one, I want to say, was 3 years ago. BBT, correct me if I'm wrong. And I saw my friend girl that I grew up with. She used to live right across the street from me. We literally grew up together. It was like sisters with different mothers and fathers. But we grew up very close. She was right across the street, and from, I want to say, about 3 years old until, we grew up and life changed. So it's wonderful seeing her. Uh, and then uh, radiation is full blown now. I've had the simulation and treatments. The first treatment was a quick treatment, and the next one was a little bit longer, and today's was a little bit longer. And I'll remove me for a second, and then you will see the table. It's all set up for me. The 2 little posts that you see at the top is where your hands go, your arms go in that little rest area. Your head goes in the middle. In my case, I have to turn my head to my right to make sure that my face doesn't get burnt. Um, then in the flat part is where the trunk of your body goes, and a little rest for your knees. Just a second, and I'll remove me again and show it to you again, since now you know kind of more like what you're looking for. It's got these little arms that kind of swing around you, I thought, in my mind, since radiation is concentrated to a very specific place, I thought it would have to be really close to your body, but it doesn't actually get that close to your body. At one point, it swings kind of close to my elbows, and I'm sort of looking at it, but I'm sort of looking at it anyway because it's moving around me, and this other contraption kind of moves beside me. I'll remove me again so that you can see it better. The little part that's above, you can still see it above my head right now, that comes down and sort of just navigates around you. The bed shifts a little bit from time to time. As I've said before, when I actually get the treatment, I have to inhale with just my chest only, not arch my back. Hold at a certain level for 30 seconds at least. They say when to hold and they say when to release. And you can't move the whole time you're there. I mean, like, not at all. They make purple marks on you, and they line you up perfect with your tattoos and everything. I can see as it progresses, I see a green, bright green grid following my form. When the treatments actually begin, I see what sort of looks like a red heart light that's very dark and very red shows up sort of in the middle of my chest, and then it kind of moves away. I can see inside the machine kind of, it looks like rods sort of line up just so as it moves close to me. It stays shockingly far away. I just, in my mind, since it had to be very specific, and I guess in my mind it would be almost like a laser sharp beam, it doesn't actually get that close to my body. Get to have a warm little blankie, yummy. And I don't feel it happening when it's happening. I notice today inside of me sort of feels kind of sore, but not bad. They give you aloe, which I meant to bring with me today, but I forgot. I'll bring it next time. That we have to apply at least twice a day, once right after the treatment, and then once at night just before you go to bed, minimum. You can do it more than that, but that's the minimum. It's to help with the inevitable skin burn that will come sooner or later. We check in with our doctors once a week, and they look closely at our skin in case they can see something that we don't see, or we're reporting a more severe action. Not action. Say brain fog. I used the wrong words too. A more severe concern than what should be happening. So they check in with us once a week, or we check in with them and they see us and check us out, make sure that we're looking good. And they encourage us to bring our dogs with us. Not really. And we go to the very same table, the same room every week. So I think the feeling of continuity and no changes, that feels good. Pretty much the same two people do my treatment each week. You know, they do have days off and such. But, hey, Ash, will you bring me that aloe that's in there, please? And I also got to see Lauren. I haven't seen Tasha again yet, but I saw Lauren, and she told me that she got her mom to watch the video, and that her mom really enjoyed it. And you know, but when I was on treatment, I was like, I bet her mom felt so absolutely proud of her daughter. Her daughter worked so hard to get to that point. So I hope, that it just made her feel so heart proud that you never see, I can't imagine, I guess it's not impossible, but I don't imagine that they see many of the patients that, they work with. So her mom, I'm thinking, has probably never seen one of her patients. So I know that Lauren, says like, I love my job, or everything went great today, or something like that. And you're glad and you get the picture, but you don't quite get the same picture that you get when you have a patient sitting there right in front of you saying, this woman is so smart and put me so at ease and just knew so much, and just great positive things that in so many ways made all of the struggles that she went through to get her education and to now have this job that she loves. It made it so worth it, and she's so good at it. So I hope that her mom hearing it just made her feel just so heart proud. And I know that I would, if it was someone talking about one of my children like that, I would feel very, very proud of them. And I hope that she enjoyed hearing great things about her kid like that. She ain't a kid. She's a woman, like I said, very brilliant, smart. Goodness, everyone I've run into there is just so doggone smart. And, like today, when they were getting me ready, it was just a lot of, yes, yes. And you lay, I assume that the table is made out of some sort of metal or something, I don't know, but you lay on a sheet. And with the sheet, they're able to do just gentle tugs, and it puts you in perfect position. Yesterday, I happened to land in the absolute perfect position. Today, I was slightly off. But the first time they said that they would have to tug me, by my sheet, and I was like, have you seen my size? Like, it ain't going to move. It ain't going to work. But, yeah, moved me easily. Neither one of them complained of any kind of, like, oh, that wasn't easy or anything like that. So, but you don't see them once it all begins. You don't see them anymore. You can hear their voice telling you to take in a deep breath and hold. And once today I had to adjust. She asked me if I could inhale just a little bit more. And after that, I just kind of made a mental note that was sort of the stopping point for me. And then they tell you to hold. And you hold until they say release. The machine I asked before, I was like, I don't know, if you start releasing your air, do you get a do-over? How does that work? It makes the machine stop. You've got something like a grid that forms to you. And if you drop below a certain level, the machine stops. And apparently you do have to do it over. I haven't had to yet, and I hope I won't. So far, I've been able to maintain the holding point properly. So hopefully I won't ever have to do it over. But you don't see them. You can hear them. They apparently can hear you. And my youngin brought me, this is the aloe that we have to use. They don't want us to use any other brand. They don't want us to use fresh aloe or anything like that. This and this only. If for some reason this doesn't work for us, we have to tell them, and they will come up with something else for us. And I don't know what that would be. So far, I don't think that today I look a little bit pink, but I don't think it's a burn. I don't know. I haven't really looked at it very closely yet. Just one of those curiosity type glances. So I'll look at it later. And I also have to confess I haven't added that yet today either. My treatment was this morning. I'm a bad patient. Try not to be though. But it seems to be going well. I don't have any complaints. Started Tuesday. Today's Thursday. So it hasn't been that many days. So far I've had good driving weather. And it's a beautiful drive. It really is a beautiful drive. From where I live, I'm in the rolling foothills of Appalachia, so I can see as soon as I live in a rather tree-filled area, so as soon as I'm out of the trees, I can see the mountains already. And on clear days like today, they bid me a fine howdy, and I was glad to see them. They're very beautiful, so I could see them. And Tasha, if you happen to see this, you need to teach me that little dance you do. It's true. You do. And the other thing that I have decided is definitely every Friday will be a party because I got 1 week behind me. So every Friday there's a party. And this Friday I'm thinking some sort about food and a movie. An old movie. I don't like movies, so it'll be an old movie. I don't know. Maybe something horror goes with all of the territory, right? Okay. And then yesterday I had a chemo treatment. As you can see, I'm feeling pretty good today. Um, I came home tired though, but I feel pretty good today. This one's not nearly as hard on me as the other treatment was. So Toxil is a little less severe apparently. So, but I shared a room yesterday with a woman that has a pretty severe type of cancer. She was having her very first treatment yesterday. She will also have to go home with a pump. So she's got her treatment, which mine lasted altogether about 3 hours. She was still there when I left, and she got there before I did. But in the conversation that we were all having, it is great that we all seem to go back to the same thing. It's faith that is carrying us through this. It is faith that is keeping you strong. You might need to cry. If you do cry, you know, get through it however you can. But the strongest thing to hang on to and to lean on to is your faith. And they asked me how I found out that I've got my cancer, and I told them and everything. And they asked me, was I like upset and everything like that when I found out? And I said that because I already had the sense that I already knew, I wasn't upset. But I also thought, no matter how it turns out, God's got me. And both of them were agreeing immediately. They had read some book. She didn't say the name of it, but a book. And it basically said the same thing, that when these things happen, no matter how it flows, God is in control of it all. And He has you. And He does comfort you. I don't know how I would be handling it without my faith in God. So my faith in God is a very good thing for me to have now. And going into it, I already had it. And it's only gotten stronger. I'm blessed that I haven't had many bad days. It's all just gone pretty well. Oh, I know that my child will ask. The shirt says Revival. It is from Kurt Cameron's Campfire Revival. And my sister picked it up for me. So that's what it is. It's what it says. I saved you the trouble of asking, Bessie. You can thank me later. And let's see, what else do I have to share? On regular stuff around the farm, this Saturday I plan on cutting my field. Looking forward to that because it's gotten really tall. So I'm looking forward to just being me and being out there cutting the field. It'll be about 64 degrees out there. And the last time I was out there very long, I got burnt. But because it's that cool, I'll be well covered. I'll have on a hat, I'll have on long sleeves, and I'll have on my overalls because that's how I roll. And get that thing cut and see how it looks. I've got chestnut trees and mulberry trees growing in it, as well as some elderberries. It's probably going to be about 5 acres of cutting. So definitely looking forward to it. Just being outside in the air and in the peace. And I seem to record a lot around 3, huh? I bet that happened to Bessie and me too. But being in the air and the sun and I started to say quiet, but with the mower running, it's not going to be that quiet. I've often thought that it would be awesome to learn to use a scythe and just have it quiet, and can't be but so hard, right? Maybe next year. I'll feel like it next year, right? Looking forward to everything. Everything I was saying now is next year all this, next year all that, next spring is this, next year I'm planting this. And my fall garden is doing pretty good. I'll see if I can remember better now what I've got in. I've got some Swiss chard, I've got some mustard, I have cantaloupes, and we're going to get, if not a frost, pretty doggone close to frost. So I'm a little bit worried for my cantaloupes because they're about that big right now. Hoping they do okay. I'm going to cover them up with some felt, and I'm going to cover that whole bed up with felt, in fact. And I've got peas and some squash and some lettuces. I think that that's all I planted for my fall garden. And most of the things, other than the squash and the cantaloupe, are pretty, some sugar beets, are pretty frost resistant. In fact, most of the things taste better, like the mustard will taste better if it gets a little bit frost kissed. So it makes it sweet. Ooh, and kohlrabi, I planted kohlrabi. I don't remember seeing it. It might not have come up, which would be sad because I was looking forward to it especially. I'll have to check that. Wow. And my cosmos are finally blooming. They bloomed really late because we were so dry. And then when the tropical storm came through, we got some rain, and now they're finally blooming, but maybe only half of it. The downfall to that is they're sort of laying down and blooming because the wind blew them over, but they are tenacity enough that they're still determined to give me some blooms. So that's a quick scenario of what's happening around the farm. Goldenrod is in bloom, so I also plan on harvesting a lot of that to make tinctures and such. It's a great medicinal, and in case you've never known, it's good for respiratory things. It's almost a good all-around little medicine that you can make yourself if you've got goldenrod growing. Might gather some and record making some tincture. And then you can make your own tincture if you have goldenrod around. And also, just in case you may not know what it is, I'll bring some with me also so that you can see what it is. Because you don't want to get into the wrong stuff. I've worried about that before myself, as many things as I know. I've often worried, what if it just really, really looks a lot like it and it's not it? But again, you've heard my test, just kind of if you're worried that something might be poisonous, you just real quick, and if you're feeling kind of a tingle or anything, don't mess with it. But if you don't feel a tingle, you're good. Like I've done it before with wisteria. It smells really, really good, and it does have a good taste, but it also has a little bit of poison going on in it. But yeah, I didn't eat it. I did test it to see if it was actually poisonous, and it is a little bit poisonous. So be careful what you do. But that's a quick, easy test. Any kind of tingle, put it back down, walk away. Speaking of walk away, I told someone once to walk away from some Cheetos, and they did. I think that they're still away from them. Maybe I'll get an update on that soon. And I'm still eating clean. At present, don't have any microgreens going. I got somehow adding a little bit of radiation to my day. It's just, I can't catch I don't know, I'm not catching my groove. It's sort of moving past me or something. And each day it's like something else is planned right after the radiation. I haven't had radiation and just come right back home yet. So I'm having a hard time catching my groove on it. Ooh, one more thing. I have a different picture also of a different angle. So I'll remove me so you can see the different angle of where the radiation happens. Isn't it interesting? I mean, I wasn't worried. My mind took me to a place that it would be this long, dark tube and insufficient oxygen and all kinds of fun things for me to gripe, burn, and complain about. And there was nothing to complain about. It's wide open feeling. It does hover over you, but it doesn't actually get that close to you. That little box thing that's kind of right beside it in the back, I'll remove it again. That little thing does swing really close to you, sort of like it's a little human approaching you kind of feeling. It comes pretty close and sort of looks at you. I don't know what that thing is or what it's doing, but it kind of hovers around my right side and kind of walks back and forth and steps forward and steps back again. And I don't know what that little guy does, but it kind of hangs out with me during the radiation treatments too. But it isn't anything to be scared of, as it turns out. And they hustle you right through. It takes about 15, 20 minutes, especially if you end up, when you lay down, you're pretty close already to the right position. They don't have to do a lot of positioning. It moves pretty doggone fast. And if you're able to, I have to hold my breath to keep my chest away from my heart. It just depends on where your radiation is taking place. Not everyone has to hold their breath, but I do. I think so long as you don't have to do restarts on your breath holds, it moves fast. So nothing to fear at all. Again, thank you folks for joining me. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope you're feeling blessed. I hope everything is going great for you. Please remember to like and subscribe, hit the bell so that you get notifications when I show up again. My schedule's a little bit weird right now, so I'm not real sure when I'll record and when I'll post. But thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon. And until then, peace, peace be with you.